I've always felt like I would be the type of mom that would be very, preppy and maybe name my daughter Ivanka, if they're twins, maybe Ivan and Ivanka. And then once upon a time, I stumbled on a social media content creator's page and he's subbing me. And I had the best laugh ever. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to what I describe as the most hilarious person on Instagram right now, Jay Onair. Because if you have not been imitated by my guest today, I don't know, there's something wrong.
Thank you so
Jay,
much.
I told you this already.
Yes, you did.
I am such a huge fan of your work.
Thank you so much.
Talk to me about this. How do you do it? I mean, I'm sure you've been asked this a billion times, but how does it come to you when you do these roles, when you play these characters? How does it work?
I think for me, my mind is very observant. So I enter a place and my mind is keeping things, keeping conversations, keeping things that happen in Lagos traffic, keeping things that I see on TV, keeping things that I watch on Instagram, on TikTok. My mind is constantly collecting things, and then it keeps it to a time where, eventually we need to create something around it. So I'm just grateful for the mind that I have. And I think the conversation we had off air, basically saying that it's a gift, because I don't necessarily enter a room saying I want to observe. I want to recreate what Kachi's doing on the show. No, not necessarily, but my mind just keeps it, and that's why I have more than 100 characters on social media.
Listen, did you this is a persona that started in 2020.
Yes.
Now, when you started, this was something that you were just doing for
fun. I was just having a great time. Everybody and their grandmothers were on TikTok at the time.
I know.
So I was just having a great time dancing. Well, not really dancing, I'm a bad dancer. But just doing things, making lip syncing sounds. And then eventually I said, let me see if I can make original content. And then people gravitated towards it. I said, you're quite funny. And I did another one, and another one. And then it, just became a thing. And now I'm where I am now. So I'm just grateful for being able to just let loose and do things that I'm able to do.
Well, you know what? I feel like, Rise 360 has a diverse audience. And I don't imagine that everyone is like me, scrolling through all of Jay's posts, laughing. So I'm gonna give some people the benefit of doubt. I'm gonna let you just enjoy just a little bit of what I've been enjoying in my downtime. So take a look at one of Jay's posts right now. I think this is the one from the Louis Vuitton show in Paris. And we have that for you to look at, so take a look.
This one now Afrobeats to the world, oh.
Listen, my cheeks hurt because if you know, Jay, I was saying that I forgot the singing at the end. This is dedication, Jay.
It is.
And I feel like I want to know, like, where, because I always say this, creativity is not something that you learn. It's a gift. You have it, like, you need inspiration to produce. And it could take you places that you could never imagine. Because this is me, like someone who just wants to just laugh in her. I could watch a Netflix movie, but I want to watch Jay. And there's so many people around the world like myself who just watch your videos and we just laugh. So where does that come from?
To be honest, it's like you said, is a gift, and I cannot take full say it's just me. I'm great. I'm the most talented person on earth, and it's just me saying this is a gift, and I'm just going to hone my craft and create a niche for myself. Because there are so many people doing so many amazing things. I remember when I started, and then somebody in the game had said, you need to have a particular character. At the time, we had people popping like Mr. Macaroni and Taoma, and they had particular characters that people liked. You know, Thelma had the mother slapping, and someone said, you need to have that one character. And because of how my mind works, I just said, I want to be able to wake up tomorrow and act like a woman or act like a man. You know, I just have multiple diverse characters so people can see that everyday life in my skits. You know, I decided to stay with that. It took me a longer time to get to where I am now, but I'm grateful because what that has done for me is that has opened me up to a diverse audience. So you find people that, you know, are highly educated on my page. You find people who are not as educated on my page, male, female, boys, girls, every kind of person is on my page. And I think it's just, you know, kudos to the diverse, you know, characters that I have. And I'm just, you know, I'm just grateful.
You know, when you were watching that, you said you got a bit emotional. Why is that?
I mean, for that, sometimes you know when I'm working, right? I'm my person is here, my creative person is here. So he knows that I just want to do the work. And sometimes I don't take time to sit down. So this is one of the few times that, you know, because I've been avoiding interviews for a while, because it feels like I've been asked the same questions again and again. This feels different, thankfully. You know, but watching myself and saying, oh my God, I have been working nonstop and people appreciate it. And I'm on Arise 360 with Kachi.
You are. Listen, you know? Jay, I'm just saying, like, that chair, I call it the super chair.
Yes.
Because this chair has held some huge stars that I respect so much and that I love so much. And I feel like everyone who sits in this chair, there's something unique and diverse about you. Now, when you look at the entire creative space, like, it comes with a lot of toxicity as well, in the sense that they say, well, I mean, why does he have to dress like a lady? Why does he talk like a lady? Does that bother you in any way?
I mean, it doesn't bother me. One thing I said, when I started getting some notoriety and some form of popularity, one thing I said to myself was I would never respond to a negative comment. Because if you check my page, you would need to really scroll to find the negativity. So why would I want to scroll all the way after seeing 500 people saying I love you? And the great thing is, because I have a diverse, you know, diverse portfolio, you get women and men and people remember their friends on my page. They tag people, I've not seen you in years. You know, so why would I be moved by the negativity? And I understand. And when it comes to women, I do not joke with women, especially because I create a lot of female characters, and there are certain things I will not joke with. You know, there are certain things that are not just funny. You know, why would I joke about rape? Why would I joke about abuse? You know, so that's something that I would not do. In fact, because I have a lot of female characters, I do the work to uplift my female audience. So there are things I do that I do not publicize because I don't think it's necessary to uplift my female audience, because I just feel like you're giving me so much, allowing me to recreate these female characters. Let me do something back as well. So yeah, I'm not moved by any of that. People love me, and people that don't love me, it's all right.
I don't think that's even possible. I feel like for you to not like Jay, like, you just have to be like an absolute hater. But really though, Jay, like, when you look at balancing your work, because you're on radio, obviously, and that's like, and I respect that as well, because some people will say, well, I'm popular now, bye, I'm not doing this anymore. So why do you still feel it's important to create that? Because and now I want to talk about the business side of content creation. From what I see, I don't think you're using any like crazy tech.
No, I'm not.
Talk to me about that. Like, how do you create?
I know, I'm not. I'm using my phone. So what I just try to do is upgrade my phone and make sure the lighting is better. And once you have great lighting, you have a great space. Because I remember when I started, I did not want to get to a place where I would feel like, oh, I need to have the perfect equipment, you know, I need to have this, I need to have that. No, people are seeing me around the world just using my phone. And times have changed. It's 2024. You cannot say, oh, until I have this equipment, until I have that equipment, before I can make my dreams come true. No, I don't believe that. You know, and I think that, and one of the reasons I've stayed with using my phone is that people can always come back and realize that Jay is not doing something out of the ordinary. It's not something that I cannot do in my room. And those people have seen me from my blue wall to my white wall. So if you have followed me from 2020, you realize when I was in that small apartment, my blue wall I now have upgraded, and by God's grace, there's going to be more. You know, so people need to come to my page and realize that you could do it just with your phone and make it happen for yourself.
Listen, I feel like that's important for a lot of like content creators to just realize that you don't need to have it all figured out. Just start from somewhere. You talked about dreams, Jay. What are some of your dreams?
What are some of my dreams? I just want to be in the industry. I don't want to be forgotten. You know, I don't want to be here today, gone tomorrow. I want to be a name that is remembered in the Nigerian entertainment industry and beyond. For my work in content creation, for my work in the media space, for my work, you know, for my talent, just for what I've been able to add, my little bit you know, in the media space. That's just what I want to be remembered for. You know, those are my dreams. I don't want to be pigeonholed. I don't want to be kept in a box. I want to be able to just, the way my mind works, you know, I'm smiling now because I just want to be able to create.
I understand.
I don't want to be held back. You know, I want to be able to do something tomorrow and people will still follow that and appreciate that. And I think that because I have multiple characters, people know that there are different sides of Jay. You know, so Jay can come up tomorrow with something else and people will still love and appreciate that. So that's really my dream.
You know what, Jay? I think that you are a kind person. I think that you have a kind heart because I mean, I'm not scared of the industry, but I've been in a lot of terrifying spaces within this space because everyone is so busy trying to create their own thing and outshine the next person, but I don't feel that with you. You're just a kind, easygoing, like just create yours, let me create mine, and let's just have fun together. I feel like that's the kind of energy that you're driving. And I think that you are gonna get it, everything your heart is desiring, Jay, because you have made so many people laugh. You don't even know. You have no idea. You're like a laughing gas in a person, in a body.
Thank you
but really,
so much.
Jay, let's project now. Let's look into like another 5 years from now. If you were gonna say, I always do this.
Yeah.
If you were gonna say something to the Jay that's gonna probably be talking to me in 5 years, and I'm like, yo, Jay, remember when we had that conversation and you said this to my camera? What would you say?
What would I say to that, Jay? I mean, keep going. I guess.
Yeah?
Keep going. Because I cannot imagine, I look back at where I started from and I'm like, look at where I am now. It's crazy. So another 5 years is just going to be crazier. So I'm looking at that Jay and saying, Jay, well done. Well done. Take time out to rest. You know? Take time out to rest. You know, make sure you keep negativity away. You know, make sure you don't get pulled away by the industry, because the entertainment industry in Nigeria, in Hollywood, it's the same. Lots of negativity everywhere. So just try to stay sane and zen, you know.
Honey, that's
and
important.
And you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Meanwhile, I was going to say, is looking back at like your beginning story, would you say, like, some people would say, well, maybe he grew up in a, you know, in an enabling environment, let me put it that way. Was there any part of your growing up that made you look like this would not have been possible, but it is possible in spite of that?
Not necessarily. I think that I had a very great enabling environment. But the thing for me was I was a very serious child. So
Serious?
Very serious. I was a child they would call grandpa, you know, because I would not dance at parties. Children dancing at parties, they seem very foolish to me. I'm like, why are you dancing at
You're kidding me.
You look weird. So even to my mom, when I started, she's like, this is weird. What are you doing? She expected me to be this serious, you know, let's go to work, let's wear the suit. And I'm doing something entirely different. So to my mom, it's still very surprising every single day. But she's like, I love you, I support you. But I'm just surprised, because if somebody had told me that this is what you're going to be doing, I'd have said no.
Well, Jay, all I can say is thank God for you. And thank God that, you know, that serious kid turned out to be like one of the funniest people that I know. Thank you so much for joining me on Arise 360.
Thank you so
and
much,
for every
Patrick.
other content creator, I hope they realize that you don't have to try so hard. It just comes from within, and
Yes, it does.
it will just showcase.
Thank you so
High
much.
five,
This was
Jay.
fun. This was
This
fun.
was fun.
Thank
Booyah.
you.